Well, so from a layman's perspective, the stock exchange is basically a marketplace where shares of companies are traded between parties that are interested in benefiting from the activities of those companies. So that's why you find that sometimes it's called the stock market, because indeed it's a market, just like Okeani market or Balogun market. It's just that the difference is that instead of buying fish and pepper and meat and fabrics, what you're buying and selling are shares of publicly quoted companies. Now, the way the stock exchange works basically is organizations, companies that meet the requirements as set out by both the operators of the exchange and by the regulators of the exchange, that is the Securities and Exchange Commission, are then permitted to do what they call a listing. So you list your shares on the floor of the exchange, and interested members of the public can buy portions of those shares and also sell them. So you buy the hopeful process is that you buy low at a lower price and sell when the price has increased, maybe because the company is doing well, the company is paying dividends, or some other activities of the company is encouraging the investing public into buying, which you drive the prices up. And then when the price gets to a particular point or threshold that you feel is okay, you sell. So that's basically what the stock exchange is all about. In terms of its importance, the stock exchange is basically a place where organizations are able to go and secure funding for expansion, for any kind of strategic initiatives that they want to adopt. And because of that particular purpose of the stock exchange and the stock market, the bigger your stock exchange is as a country and as an economy, the better for the country and for the economy in question. The deeper, they call it the market depth, talking about the number of shares, the number of companies that are participating in activities on the exchange. I'm talking about the size in terms of money, the volumes of shares that are available to be traded on the exchange. They're basically ownership units. That's the way to put it. So the companies register at the Corporate Affairs Commission, and you register as a company limited by limited liability. So the owners of the company are protected by law and separated in terms of their person from the entity called of the organization that they've invested in. And then what happens is those shares that you have registered at the CAC, you can decide to trade them and invite other people to invest in that company and take an ownership stake in that company. So depending on what the company does, depending on your level of interest in that particular activity, depending on what your objectives are, you find that people will just take up stakes in these companies. And the companies actually sell their shares outside of the stock exchange as well. You don't need to be listed on the stock exchange to trade your shares. There are private placements that happen, and there are private arrangements that happen between friends where they just simply collect money in exchange for recognition of being a part owner, a stakeholder in that company. It's just that the stock market provides a regulated framework where such exchanges can happen, where people can easily pick up shares, ownership stakes in companies that they're interested in, and also easily divest and sell those shares when their objectives have been met, or if they are no longer satisfied with being part owners of that. So that's basically it. So what tends to happen is if you own shares in a company, the very, very purpose and essence of having a stock exchange or a stock market is to provide a platform where you can trade those shares as you wish, as you please, whenever you want. So stock trading is basically, just like the name says, trading in stock. Just think about trading in any context. You are a trader. If somebody says I'm a trader, they usually refer to maybe they are buying and selling some article or goods or service. So if somebody says I'm a stockfish trader, for example, they buy and sell stockfish. If you say you are a cement trader, you buy cement and you sell it, and so on and so forth. So it's exactly the same with stocks, with shares. The importance of stock trading or share trading is it's a real opportunity, if you know what you're doing, to make a lot of money in a short period of time. Short being relative. When I say short, it could be 1 month, it could be 1 year, but you are basically very actively selling and buying shares of different companies. So if you are well guided and if you have good advice from experts, stock broking experts or financial experts, financial advisors, people actually make a lot of money on the stock market just from trading shares.